We have two buttons on the screen that are very similar. Pattern Begin and Pattern End, the second one up above your reverse button. The triangle with the line at the top will allow you to be sewing along. If you stop in the middle of a pattern, like a decorative stitch, this will reset you to the beginning of that decorative stitch. Let's go ahead and see how that works. So we're sewing along and we stitch as long as we really need to stitch. It really doesn't matter where we stop. So we're going to just kind of stop in the middle of a pattern. So we're up in the partial look here. So if I push Pattern Begin, when I start again, it will actually be back to the beginning of that pattern. And then I'm ready to stitch as long as I need it to stitch. Now, let's say it does matter what the last stitch looks like. That's what Pattern End will do. Once you push that, it will go ahead and let the pattern finish out for you, and you don't even have to think about where that ending point actually is. So now we have a complete design. You can see that there's 3 completed patterns in this stitch. Let's go ahead and pick another stitch here. How about stitch number, one of my favorites, 732. 732. It's just a nice quick stitch. And again, it can be stitched along. And then pattern in, you can push it even while you're sewing and it'll finish right where it needs to end. That's a nice little one. Another thing you can do with pattern in is as you push it, there's a little picture that will come up on screen. Here, we'll move this up so you can see a little bit. And it has that same symbol with a 1. If you push it again, 2, 3. So if I wanted to have exactly 3 repeats, this pattern end can be actually set for that. So then I could do, say, 3 repeats on this side, just so until it stops. I'm going to sink the needle down here, and then I could turn, and then I could sew 3 repeats again, and almost make myself an exact little square. I might draw some lines just to make sure that I turned a full 90 degrees. But look how how much fun we can have. Without really thinking, I can just be talking away and we can create something really nice. Should we try it? You know what I'm thinking, don't you? I'm going to try to see if I can hit where I started. Now, usually I'd want to have an open toe foot on. And again, the lines on our fabric should help. But let's see how close we get. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of see where we're coming. Oh. You know, not bad for just winging it here. But again, that's how fun you can have with just putting in the repeats. Now, you can go ahead and go all the way up to a total of 9 repeats, and then it will turn itself off, you might say. So I'm going to go ahead and show you another way. Instead of pushing it 9 times, just push clear, and that will clear off the pattern end. So between pattern end and pattern begin, you can always be right where you are within a design. Another thing for pattern begin is if you ever start on a buttonhole and you find yourself like halfway through a buttonhole and you're like, oh, that's not really where I wanted to start, push pattern begin because that will bring you back to the beginning. You don't have to choose another stitch and come back to it or try to clear it out. You know you're going to just be bumped right to where you need to start.